Gonzo Ewok channel with me, Gonzo.
And me, Ewok.
For another exciting episode of
Geordie Space Program.
You didn't put your back into that one, that wasn't very good.
You just do nothing but complain about these intros.
Because you didn't put your back into it. That's the best part of all of these videos, is when we shout Geordie Space Program.
Oh look, we've got the right amount of money. It looks like it has saved. Gonzo, instead of closing the game down normally after we last recorded, just decided that he would shut it down forcefully from the taskbar.
Force a habit.
Rather than closing it out the game and giving the opportunity for it to auto-save. But it seems like it has saved.
We've got the cash.
The right amount of cash.
Also, mate, we've got a little bit of science, not a huge amount. That might get with... I don't know exactly where we are, but it might
I'm
get
not sure. We're looking at the 45. But science is what this episode's all about. We need to get some science. We've had a few trips into orbit.
Yeah, we took some tourists up last time.
I keep saying orbit. We've had a few trips into the atmosphere, suborbital. But we've never managed to successfully bring any science back. So, I'm thinking we use the basic framework of Richard Branson's Love Rocket.
Really? That's a tourist ship.
And replace some of the touristy elements with some sciencey elements.
Oh, I like where this is going. You didn't tell us this. You were being vague before we started recording. I was like, oh, okay, then yeah, we wouldn't do that. But yeah, this is a good idea, because we know that this thing gets out about 135,000 metres when you just fire it straight up.
So I'm thinking we'll do that. We'll shoot straight up.
Take some science. Now,
and we'll take some science.
The issue that we've had traditionally has been bringing the science back.
Specifically, the Science Junior keeps blowing up.
Yeah, it's quite fragile.
Even overheating seems to be causing it a problem. So I'm still worried that even if we use this design, when we come back, it'll overheat and explode.
Do you know what we can do, though? We have got the micro legs. If we put the parachutes on so it comes down and lands on those legs, I don't expect those legs to bear its weight.
It's not the landing that I'm worried about. It's the actual coming through the atmosphere and it not burning up.
No.
But we're only going to do it if we try,
Could we slap a couple of heat shields on the side, like it's carrying shields?
I don't think we could.
No?
And it would be extremely heavy.
Don't know quite how heavy the ablators are. Check them.
Oh, they're not that heavy.
Oh, they're not heavy at all. Look, slap a couple of them on.
Aren't you thinking we'd just put a load of decouplers on?
Yeah.
4 decouplers.
Yeah. And just whack on some of the straw hats.
This is terrible. Oh no, we can't do that.
No. Girders.
It's going to cause a lot of clipping if we use girders.
Yeah, it's probably going to make it even more unstable if we do that.
Oops.
So
is this kind of along the line of what you were suggesting?
Yeah, I'm thinking
something like that.
You know that I like my ancient history. I'm thinking of the hoplite phalanx in rocket form. That's what I'm thinking of.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to try it without that.
Okay. If it doesn't work, that would be a nice one to try. That would be quite a good Kerbal short. If we get round to doing another Kerbal short again at some point, we can experiment with using ancient Macedonian military technology on modern day rockets. That would be worth looking at.
If you say so, pal.
I think it would. Let's learn from the ancients. They knew a thing or two.
About
as we all know,
design.
Egypt was basically all aliens. This is a well-known fact.
That's true. There was a guy on the History Channel who said that. So
yeah.
They wouldn't put anything on the History Channel.
King Tutankhamun's sword was made from a meteorite back in the Bronze Age. Where the hell did they get that from?
Science.
Exactly. Space science. Where do meteorites come from? Space. Don't just find them... Well, you do find them lying around.
Yeah, you do.
But, yeah. But it's like something out of Terraria. My first thoughts about King Tutankhamun has a meteorite sword was... I had one of them in Terraria, 5 years ago. What's the deal? But I was quite impressed anyway. I thought it was quite an interesting one. I'm being glib on purpose. I actually think it's quite fascinating. The idea that somebody, a good couple of thousand years before the Iron Age says, oh yeah, I'll make me sword out of this. This is amazing. Magic sword.
I've kind of lost what you're talking about now.
King Tutankhamun's magic sword.
But where are you getting this from?
That's what this rocket's going to be called.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's
well,
not.
I can't call it the Love Rocket because it's not Richard Branson's. He does tourism stuff. So this one's called King Tut's Magic Sword.
But where are you getting this magic sword bollocks from?
It's true. This is actually true. Scientists, in his tomb, they found his sword. And they've tested a minute part of it. And they've found that the iron that was made in his sword is iron that is found in a meteorite. Right. It's real. I'll show you the article. This isn't like some sort of History Channel bollocks. This is actual scientists with actual proof of when, yep, that's made from a meteorite. It's the truth.
Okay.
It's quite a good one.
I thought this was like one of the History Channel crazy people.
No, this is actual stuff. That's what's so mental about it. This isn't like the weird chap with a strange haircut from Babylon 5. This is actual sciencey stuff. See, topical on the Geordie space program.
Right, we've got no room for parachutes at the moment, so let's drop some batteries. We'll only have 2.
We didn't need that many, really. It's just we needed enough to keep it stable while it goes up. Are you thinking you want 2 drogues and 2 normals again?
The drogues were very handy last time. You have to admit
that's it. It made the difference between we're coming back and not. So yeah, I think we should have them.
So we've got to lose 2 parts. Well, we only need 1 thermometer.
That's 30. That's alright.
Where the hell is that one? There we go.
A bit strange.
It somehow managed to get stuck on the inside.
We've got 31 parts again. We had 30. Now we've got 31.
I think the thermometer might have been floating around in the air.
Okay then. So we could just do it with 1 battery, you know. Just 1 battery in the middle of the.
Potentially, I don't think we need them. I really don't think we need those. You know.
We don't really touch the control surfaces until we're well up anyway, do we? They just go straight up this thing.
Probably need to move those batteries a bit so that they're not poking out through the doors.
Yeah, clipping can cause problems. Right, so that's looking okay. Right, now call it King Tut's Magic Sword. You're doing it in like elite speak.
Oop.
Can't have that. Not having that at all.
Tut's Magic Sword. Thank you for allowing me to say Tut instead of Tutankhamun, because I'm not sure I could spell that right under pressure.
That's the thought occurred to us after I said it, and I figured that was probably why you didn't want to call it that.
No, I didn't want to call it that because I think it's a ridiculous name.
And the description should just say straight up science, because it goes straight up and it does science. See? That'll make sense in like 6 months' time if we ever want to revisit this rocket.
Right. I'm crewing this. I'm putting Cethia in it. Happy with that?
She's not a red coat. We've got the cash to buy a new one.
I'm going to nip out to see if we've got the science to the ability to do EVA in orbit. Do we unlock that? Astronaut complex. Right, so we've upgraded R&D. What else do we... Yeah, we've upgraded it. I think so. I think we've upgraded it to level 1. No, it is at level 1. Astronaut complex.
75 grand.
Kerbins can disembark only on Kerbin. If I pay 75 grand...
EVAs,
you can do an EVA. And I think an EVA is pretty important in terms of the amount of science we bring back.
Yeah, I think go for it. Launch up, get out in the atmosphere. She can do our first ever spacewalk and then come back. Yeah, that's good. If we can do a spacewalk by the end of this episode, I'll be happy.
And well, there we go. There's a target for it. Science and spacewalk.
Aye.
Actually, let's just say spacewalk. That way, if everything goes tits up and we don't bring anything back, I can still say, yeah, but I met my objective of doing a spacewalk.
No, I think we should go for the
spacewalk.
You bring it back. We desperately need some cash to upgrade the VAB as well, because we are going to need bigger rockets. This is causing problems at the minute, so...
You've recover vessel.
Yeah, you discharged the parachutes, didn't you? You didn't do the staging. It's a good job you didn't hit space twice there. You hit the button, you heard the noise, and you thought, that wasn't right. And cooler heads prevailed, and you came back indoors, so we can have a bit of a chat about it. So we'll put them right.
Indeed. No, not the drugs. Regular shoots. Second last stage. Drugs. Last stage. all the rockets for first
And,
stage.
Drogues are the first ones to go off, yeah?
Drogues are the first ones to go off.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's okay then. Is that? Yep. That's alright.
Oh, we need an extra stage there. So,
They're fine.
solids.
It
Liquid.
pings off and that comes in.
Took the bottom hand off.
It doesn't have a heat shield on the bottom, this thing, does it?
Yes,
So-
it does.
Oh, is that one there under the service bay, is it?
Yes.
Oh,
You see,
okay.
just covered by
Yeah,
that little bit of
that's
air in
alright.
there.
Cool. But we've got a pilot in this, so we will have, in
We'll have
theory, a bit of control.
A bit of
coming down.
control.
Aye. So that's not bad.
A bit.
Okay, then the drogues, and then proper parachutes.
And the drogues, then the proper parachutes, yes.
Good job.
It's-
How much does this rocket cost? It can't be that expensive.
Oh, that's
Good
good.
20 grand. Up it goes. Right.
Now, we might even have a wee tiny bit of control in the early stages of this launch. No.
Well, we don't need to worry about that anyway. We don't want any
Seetha
control.
is britting it.
That's fine. I mean, she's going quite fast.
Fairly
Like
fast.
2 kilometres
As fast goes.
Yeah.
This is going to be fine. It doesn't seem to be hitting the same speed as we were previously, mind.
No, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. Actually, it's doing like 900 metres a second. That is quite fast.
Yeah, but we're going to burn out. We're not going to be as high as we were. Okay, maybe we are. Certainly high enough. Yeah, 166.
Yeah, that's actually higher than we were last time.
This is really imprecise, horrible rocket physics. Shooting up as fast as we can, straight up in the air.
Right,
Anyone watching this would be horrified.
I stage it. Ooh, you bugger. Yeah, again, we've got rid of the debris. We're an ethical space program. Don't think you're supposed to do it while you're still in atmosphere. And certainly not with explosion. If anything, if that was real life, you've turned those 3 big objects into a massive shotgun going off underneath your ship.
Right, we've got a mystery goo here.
10, I like it.
And we'll do a materials bit.
You don't want to... Oh, yeah, that's nice. Crew report.
Then we'll close the doors. Maybe that'll help, I don't know. Where's my thermometer? Log temp.
Space is cold. It's science.
Crew report. We are very much in space right now. The sky seems to be mostly below us.
Yeah. Here we go.
And the first spacewalk.
Why should set the rocket off on a tilt?
Only
spacewalk
8 science. I think they've reduced the amount you get for that.
might have done, but she's done it above the shores. It said so. Do we not need to be like high over Kerbin to do it when space near Kerbin?
Well, we're not going to get in space high over Kerbin.
I don't know what that counts as. It is about 300.
It's very high.
It's like 300,000, I think. Yeah, we're not going to get that. That's a shame, but that's still a good chunk of science anyway.
How much are we getting for that review data? We're getting 25 for that. That's the biggie. We need to bring that back.
Aye, don't be sad it.
Yeah, just keep it.
But you know what? I mean, that'll get at least another part on the science tree anyway. So that's not bad. And get most towards another. Are you any thoughts about if we do get the science back, what we want to spend it on?
I'd have to take a look at the science tree. I'd really like a better controlled remote drone.
So maybe the next stage up in a probe if we can get one.
That opens up a lot more possibilities for test craft that don't have people in that we can kill.
Yep, that's always handy.
But also just in general, what kind of lacking in terms of the tech we have available to us.
We're still using the very basic engines. We haven't got anything bigger.
I mean, really, we're punching above our weight trying to do orbits and things like that. Bigger solid fuels would be really handy.
You could put this in orbit, I think.
No, I don't think so. Not with the amount of fuel we've got. There's a sharp drop off.
Oh, aye, it is. It's firing its way through it.
But it means we're going to be coming in okay.
Yeah, that's not that bad, really. Can you land on that little spur of land?
Well, I'm out of... I mean, we're still coming in
That's
fairly
still
sharp.
quite sharp, high, but not ridiculous. You're doing the old spinny. It's been a while since we've done that. We never used to do that, but it's a great little manoeuvre. There we are.
It just throws it clear, which is handy.
I wonder why spaceships don't do that in real life. Do the old spinny just to catapult the jettisoned equipment.
Probably because it wastes a lot of monopropellant.
Yeah, it's probably also very, very unpredictable.
And probably makes you feel sick.
Yeah. Okay, yep. I mean, you've thrown that off a good couple of 100 metres. It's nice.
Well, all there is to do now is wait, I guess. Unless I can get a different EVA report.
I don't like this.
That's
Just Christ, it's a David Bowie tribute.
It's because she's knocking the heat shield when she gets out. That's the prob.
Right.
Hang on, we're going on arse first. I want to come in head first.
Yeah, head first
Like
all
a
the way.
champ.
Of course.
Well, I don't think we're going to get any EVA report other than Kerbin's Waters now. Did you see the first one was Shores, though? Because if the first one was Shores, that means we're getting two, because I've got a Kerbin's Waters there.
If we get Waters, that would be a good one.
Already got it, pal.
Science.
Already got it.
Might want to point down a little bit.
Yeah, I was just waiting until we got close to the Atmos. This feels... Something's got to go wrong, because it's been far too chilled.
I mean, she's quite happy. It's going to get warm. I'm still thinking it's survivability on landing is what we need. I know, like, the heat is an issue, but I like the fact that things come down on legs rather than the bare arse.
Oh, whereas I'm just going with the dunk it in the drink tactic.
Yeah, so you're seeing the biggest threat as being the atmosphere, and I'm seeing it being the planet.
To me, the atmosphere is the prob.
Yeah, that's alright. You know what? To get through the atmosphere quicker, if you hit Q, you could spin your way down like a bullet. That'd be good.
Q?
Q? Yeah, press Q.
Oh,
See, look, you're like a bullet. You've rifled yourself. Sort of. Oh, that's warm. But it's bullets, when they spin, travel faster or straighter.
It's that fucking Science Junior again.
She's still alive, though.
She is.
I didn't realise she was there, frankly.
But again, we've lost like nearly all of the science. It's that Science Junior. How can you protect that Science Junior? It doesn't fit in a service bay.
We need a bigger rocket with like a bigger service bay. Don't want to put it in there. But how do we get the science to get the bigger parts to do that?
So once again, it's the science bay. Do you think that will survive?
Aye. Which bits of
that's got all the science in.
Yeah, I mean that's not on for this world. She's still. Oh no, I was going to say falling still fairly quickly. For some reason, I thought we might have lost the actual parachutes and only had the drogues. So that was a waste of time, CFA. Don't fancy his chances unless the heat shield takes the brunt. Nah. Dear.
No, I didn't fancy his chances either.
Right, we need to hit the books again.
It's every time we do it, it's the Science Junior that blows up.
It's overheating.
But it didn't go. It didn't like overheat slowly. It went from naught to explode almost immediately.
It's just the there's a slightest bit off, which is going to happen naturally anyway, and it's just getting too hot. There must be something we can do. I mean, could still try my hoplite design, but I don't even think that'll work because the heat's still going to get around it, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's designed to take the brunt of it, not like the sort of heat running around it. Oh,
back to the drawing board.
The weight of that might just push her under.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, little mushroom.
Well, we'll get something. We'll get 20 science, maybe.
Her crew reports we might get enough for another bit on the science tree.
21.2.
Yeah, that gives us 49, so that'll get one more bit for science. So let's see if there's anything we can get in R&D. Flight control gets for SAS. Aviation, they're just like fuselage parts. There's nothing bigger where we can drop anything in. Gets for wheels. Gets for flaps.
I mean, the winglets will help, actually. They'll help because we can use them.
The reaction wheel as well gives a little bit of a...
It gives you a bit more torque,
control.
but I never find them particularly useful. And you still can't use them with only the basic probe core. It doesn't help. I'm tempted to hold on to the size. But then again, the winglets will be useful because I can use the winglets instead of the ones we're using now.
It'll give them more control
And
in
it'll give
atmosphere.
a bit more control, yeah.
So it'll help on launch, and then potentially gives you a little bit more control if you're using a pilot coming back down. Because we need to keep that straight as a die. It's when it just ever so slightly moves off. I don't know if the winglets will give you enough control to be able to do that. Well, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah. I just don't think we've got anything.
I'll tell you what. Instead of trying to launch anything, we've still got a bit of time for this episode. So why don't we have a look at some of the parts and play around with? Is there a way we can encase or protect a Science Junior? What have we got? I don't think the cage of girders would do it, would it?
No, that wouldn't do it. And the service bay is too small.
That's a bit cheeky. I see what you're going for there. Masking it. This is a problem we've never encountered before. I'm coming down off the couch here. I'm going to scoot down on the floor next to where you're sitting. Get a good look at this. What could we use? Radiators wouldn't do any good, would they?
Nope. I don't think we've got what we need. What's the heat tolerance on that bad boy? 2000 kelvins. Compared to...
Science. In the bottom. So 2000 compared to...
1200. It's still going to blow, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, if stuff is mounted...
That'll still blow because the heat shield will not protect it. The heat shield's too small.
Oh, yes. That's a good point.
But that's got 1200 kelvins. It doesn't explain why it's the Science Junior is blown up so quickly when everything seems to have a maximum temperature of 1200 kelvins, but it just blows every time.
I hate the screen bug because 9 times out of 10 it's us doing something wrong, but possibly bug? I mean, they do seem incredibly fragile, and as you said, it's not like it's getting hot. It just goes from it's fine to it's blown up. Which is a bit of a strange one.
And again, the batteries have 1200 kelvins, and the batteries blow down quick as well. But it's how we keep the heat off it.
I mean, realistically, I think that the other way of thinking about this is the descent that we're doing is it's still pretty sharp. The way that we're coming down.
Maybe radiators will help. I don't know.
I mean, radiators aren't really designed to be used during re-entry, though, are they?
No.
They're more there for the heat build-up that you can get in space from things like solar panels. No, I mean, my idea of the hoplite shield I like, but I don't think that would work. Which is a shame.
What we really need is a bigger heat shield that pushes it out further.
Aye.
So if we had one that was overlapping, that would be alright.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So when it's coming down, then the heat's being dispersed around it rather than just hitting the ablator, but then running up the sides of the rocket.
I mean, like, it's the equivalent of a design I sometimes use, where I don't want to use cargo bays for some reason.
Aye.
Where you can tuck the mystery goo in like that.
Yeah, and then slap your straw hat on the top. What's heat tolerance of one of them?
2000. That's still not great.
Nah.
But yeah, something like that could protect things because they're going.
Yeah.
Because they're sort of tucked away, and that's the kind of thing we want to do.
And then that's still aerodynamically sound as well, which is quite nice.
Which means we need bigger parts. At the very least, a bigger heat shield. With the Science Junior close to the top.
Nip back into R&D and see whereabouts they are, and see if we need to make a bit of a beeline for the larger heat shield.
For now, while we're doing space missions, we're just going to have to try and do them minus the Science Junior.
I mean, it's effectively what can it use that?
Oh, look, we've got world first milestone.
Oh, I've got 12 grand for the spacewalk, a couple of bits of science. So, whereabouts are we?
Fairings. Where's fairings?
There's fairings there.
On.
That's a fairing.
So protective shell. We'll put fairing on it.
That only goes out to 1.25. But that's alright. That would work if we put that on the nose cone because the flare out. Most parts are like 1 metre, I think. So then that flares out, the quarter goes up and then comes back in. So yeah, I mean that's potentially doable. It probably makes more sense than putting on a bigger hat.
And there's the bigger hat.
So that's 90.
So they're both
90.
Both 90 science away.
So the next question is then, where do we get our hands on 85.5 science? 85.5 science to get up to 90. I'm thinking there's a lot of science on the planet. There is science in the planet where we don't have to break atmosphere, where we can get a Science Junior and we can land it. We don't need massive rockets, but we could build little rockets, ping them off to the mountains, ping them off into the water, ping them off into the grassland, grab science. We mentioned the idea of doing a bit of a tour of Geordie Space Command and grabbing science from the ground. We haven't got anything where we can build a rover to do it, but certainly it seems crazy that we can't collect scientific data around us because we haven't got rovers, but we could get them from the mountain range several miles away by firing a rocket onto it.
Do you know what I'm thinking?
I'm thinking Geordie Space Program, rocket battery, bunch of cheap disposable rockets with science equipment, fire them off all over the place. We haven't been to the poles, we haven't been all to the other biomes, we look them up, ping something across, it survives, we'll land it on legs, so I can say my catchphrase, we'll get the science, that'll get where we're 80, and then we've got enough to start building something decent.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea. What were you going to say? What's your plan?
Mun flyby.
Mun flyby! Right. That's, now you see, the problem with that is, that the issue that we're trying to solve here, Ewok, is that we can't get stuff back. Mun flyby would give us data from a crew person, but it wouldn't get with a Science Junior, which is where the majority of the science is.
Mun flyby.
I want little rockets. Ping off little rockets. You remember when we did Geordie Space Invasion?
Yes.
We should do something like that.
It went really wrong though.
Yeah, but that's because we're trying to fire, if you remember, we're trying to fire 4 rockets to the moon in quick succession. And none of them could get there because none of them were designed to get to the moon.
I believe one of them got there.
In pieces on the ground. I'm quite liking this idea. You know what? I mean, it depends on what we're planning on doing. We're probably finished recording for today. Why don't we put it across to the viewers? Do they want to try Mun flyby?
Mun flyby.
Or do they want to see us try firing off? I'm talking maybe about sort of like 5-10 rockets in fairly quick succession, firing off the different biomes.
And I'm talking about the Mun flyby.
And I'm talking
with a satellite.
And I'm talking about.
And we'll get the Science Junior back by doing some serious air braking.
I think we'll put it across to the viewers. I'll tell you what, I'll ask on our Facebook page, and we'll see what comes back from there. I'll probably do that before this episode goes up, so you might have seen something if you're on my Facebook page. Might have seen us asking about this. But we'll both put our arguments across.
Vote Mun flyby. That's my argument.
Vote.
It'll be cool.
Vote missile strike. The potential for missile strike has got way higher.
You're right, it's got much better chance of success, and it does have a cool name, I'll give you that. But it's not a Mun flyby. That's the significant disadvantage. It's not a flyby of the Mun.
Vote with your head, not with your heart. That's all I've got to say. But I think with that one we should wrap this up.
Okay.
Let me know what you think in the comments there, guys.
Mun
thank
flyby.
you very much for watching, and Mun flyby for now.
Mun flyby.
Thank you very much for watching this episode of Geordie Space Program. If you would like to watch some Prison Architect, you can click to your left.
If you'd like to watch one of our podcasts, or listen to it, click on the right.
And of course, if you haven't already, we always appreciate it when people subscribe. Thanks again, and bye-bye.